Brothers and sisters, one of the healthiest things you can do for yourself is staying hydrated. And you know what I'm talking about. You go to your basketball game, football game, pro wrestling events, and suddenly you get a little parched. Well, one of the best ways that you can keep yourself safe is using Liquid IV. See, Liquid IV is a hydration stick that you can pour into 16 ounces of water and immediately get more efficiently hydrated than water alone. Okay? 12 delicious, refreshing flavors, all of your essential B vitamins, including B3, B5, B6, B12, even vitamin C. 3 times the electrolytes as traditional sports drinks. It's made with premium ingredients, non-GMO, free from gluten, dairy, soy, all that good stuff there. Listen, I'm telling you right now, folks, Liquid IV has changed my life. It's something that I use on a regular basis because I'm always on the go. I gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. Liquid IV has your back. It'll keep you exactly that way, hydrated. But don't just take my word for it. I want you to try it out. And because of that, if you head over to liquidiv.com right now, you can put anything that you want in your cart, and then at checkout, use the promo code Duke Loves Rasslin. No spaces in that now. Duke Loves Rasslin. Going to save you 20% on your entire order. That's how much I care about your hydration. That's how much I want you to check out Liquid IV. So what are you waiting for? Shop better hydration today. Visit liquidiv.com. That's right.
Look at what we have here, folks! To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Brothers and sisters, welcome back. Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. That's right. Your main man, the Duke, is back. And let me tell you something. I got my coffee going. It is cold outside. We're hitting the holiday season. I'm very, very happy and very, very hopeful. And I hope you are as well, folks. And I'm going to put this out there right now. There is a racket going on outside of my secret location here. You know, the city decided that they were going to bless the Duke with brand new sidewalks, which I'm very appreciative of, by the way. But unfortunately, there's a lot of drilling going on. So if you hear any background noise there, folks, I promise you I'm not having a party. It literally is just a little bit of construction going on out there. And I know most of the people listening, especially in the United States, you can relate to this because it seems like the traffic is so terrible. It seems like all the roads are being dug up. New buildings are going up. Sidewalks are going up. I don't know who they're preparing for because we've been here the whole time. So I don't know if it's the aliens from the 3-Eye Atlas or something like that. I don't know. But it seems like they're preparing for somebody else, you know. But, hey, we'll wait and see how that goes. Anyway, you know, folks, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of Duke Loves Rasslin. And one of the special things that I really, really love is the fact that we've been so diverse in who we feature on the show. Obviously, we have Hall of Famers. Obviously, we have, you know, independent wrestlers. We have the kids who are just starting off in wrestling school. So we've been able to follow some of those journeys and what have you. But we step outside the box as well. Astrobiologists and Hall of Fame sports writers and former NFL players and, you know, all kinds of mixed bag of this, that, and the other thing there. And what I really love is when I speak to a pro wrestling fan who's not afraid to tell me about the rest of their life. Because although we all are pro wrestling fans, and a lot of you who are listening, you're in the pro wrestling business and MMA as well, that's not all there is to you. You have other interests. you have other things that matter to you as well. So when we get a chance to highlight people who are involved in something other than pro wrestling, it actually, in my opinion, it's a compliment to our community because it shows, hey, this person is an astrobiologist who just happens to be a casual pro wrestling fan. This person is an accomplished writer or filmmaker who just so happens to be a pro wrestling fan. So it's really cool to just show you that pro wrestling fandom is deeper than just the pizza face neckbeard who's in his mom's basement. One of those folks there, humanoids. We're a lot more diverse than that as a community. And certainly our first guest of the day here fits the bill. Okay. This is a person who is an accomplished writer, creative writer, wrestling fan, and most of all, they are here to share with you some exciting news about their latest work. So without further ado, welcome to Duke Loves Rasslin, my brother, QC Benedict. What's going on there?
How you doing, Duke? It's great to be on the show.
Oh, it's great to have you here, QC. I mean, listen, now I gotta make sure that we're clear here, not QT, because Devon Dudley has, he's got some words for QT Marshall, and that's a whole personal issue there. But this is QC Benedict. All right, let's not mix up the two. You're not QT Marshall, right?
No, and I have no beef with Devon. In fact, I'm a big fan.
Okay, there it is. All right, so we qualified that.
Thank you.
How long you been a wrestling fan, man?
I've been a wrestling fan since the Carter administration.
Oh boy, God rest his soul. Wow, wow. Now listen, let me ask you this: when it comes to the whole peanut farmer thing and all that stuff, what do you think when you look at that whole situation from a 2025 lens? Should Jimmy Carter have divested in the peanut farm business that he and his family had because he was president? Because you look at 2025 and you see what the current president is doing with crypto and all this stuff. He's not divesting in anything,
No.
but Jimmy Carter gave up his stake in that successful peanut farm. What do you think about that?
Well, Jimmy Carter was a man of integrity. He was a very intelligent man. You don't become a nuclear engineer on a submarine because you're stupid or hillbilly. I think it was very noble and reflective of his character.
Indeed. I'd have to agree with you on that one there. That always fascinated me. Peanut farmer, but yet he was able to build that into something so great and then even became president of the United States of America, which is wild. Creative writing. Talk to me about this because I envy folks like yourself. I am a conversationalist, right? I can write things in a manner that will make people kind of chuckle a little bit and what have you. But when it comes to creating characters and really starting to go down that road, I'm not sure that's my forte, but I love it. I love to read works that involved a different world. And I even love to watch those works be turned into TV shows and movies and things like that, really into that stuff, especially when we start getting into sci-fi and things like that. I really love that stuff there. From your perspective as somebody who's been successful at it, what is it about creative writing that has made you not only do it, but continue to do it and grow it?
I think the biggest thing is you get all these ideas and you want to build a world, populate it with people, make interesting characters that we can relate to, and put them in situations that remind them of life, but might have a different spin to it, like sci-fi, supernatural, put it through different lens and see how they react.
When you look at something like pro wrestling, again, you're basically a lifelong fan, but you look at it from a creative lens. What's your general feeling about pro wrestling in 2025 and even going into 2026? Do you feel like we're in a creative boom, or do you feel like something is terribly missing overall?
It's tough to say because you've got two major promotion. You've got AEW, which is struggling because it can't create any characters that people really care about or engaging storylines. And then you have WWE, which is playing it safe because it has such great business right now. And I think the corporate people don't want to rock the boat too much. And that results to some very bland storytelling, things that aren't going to get the fans excited.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, we see it in the returns. I mean, WWE, they've been smart enough to chase the almighty dollar, so they're getting so much advertising bucks, and because they deliver a consistent audience, it's easy for the networks to invest in them. But, live attendance has been up and down for the past year.
Oh,
And obviously, the television ratings, as reported, who knows how accurate they are, but as reported, they've been up and down. So clearly, there's something missing, especially when you compare it to just a couple of years ago when the Bloodline storyline was really the hottest thing in wrestling. You know, um, when you reflect back, if you were to pick a storyline, Bloodline included, what would you say, especially for a creative writer like yourself, what was probably the best stuff that we've seen over the past years in terms of storyline?
one of my favorites was Rhea Ripley's heel turn and Dominic Mysterio's heel turn in the Judgment Day storyline. I thought that really got all the people over that were involved in the group. I enjoyed the Bloodline. My biggest problem was I thought it went about a year too long. They pretty much
Yeah,
exhausted everything.
yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. You know, maybe their transition into when it splintered, and now we have Solo's group, and then we have, Roman and the Usos. They can get back together. They cannot. It's kind of iffy. I agree, though. Maybe it lasted a year too long. They probably should have expedited the split. Um, but the Rhea Ripley thing, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, that whole storyline with Judgment Day and specifically Rhea and Dom Mysterio, that has been some of the best stuff going, and it has made the both of them, Dom and Rhea, huge superstars, right?
Oh, yeah. When Dominic Mysterio first came out, I thought he'd be a flash in the pan. But when he turned heel, forget about it.
And now the guy is a complete tweener who's definitely leaning babyface. I mean, he legitimately is chasing that Eddie Guerrero spot, a spot that we never knew could possibly be even attempted to be filled again. But Dom is getting there. And Rhea, I mean, she's one of the biggest stars in the history of the business at this point, which is completely fascinating to me, knowing the whole Demi Bennett story and seeing how she began her career and comparing that kid to this megastar superstar today. It's like, wow, she really
Oh,
made that happen, you know?
yeah. And she stuck around. She did not give up. She went through a lot of bad storylines and angles and waited for the right moment. And like you said, she's a megastar. There's a big difference between a main eventer and a megastar. And she is definitely a megastar.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's interesting, QC, because I know that you're a person that, just like a mechanic or somebody like that, or somebody who's really into computers, you're always tinkering with something. That creative mind of yours is always tinkering. I know that you have a special announcement to make about something that is about to launch. So let's just put it out there, brother. Exclusive news here. What do you have to share with the Duke Loves Rasslin audience?
Well, first, Duke, I appreciate the chance to appear on the show and let people know. And I'm very happy to announce that starting next Friday. My new book, The Immortal in the Attic, will be released on Amazon.
The Immortal in the Attic. Now, are we talking the Immortal Hulk Hogan? What's going on with this here? Tell me about the Immortal in the Attic.
Well, The Immortal in the Attic is what the kids would call a mashup. It's a mix of historical fiction, supernatural romance, and a little bit of adventure. It's set in the 1970 in a suburb outside of Buffalo, New York, and it involves a young woman and a wounded Army veteran, and they discover a secret uh, in the man's home, and they also discover romance and supernatural forces that are moving against them.
Oh boy, this has a lot going on here. So it's the main male character is a military person.
That's right.
What made
He's
you go in that direction? When it comes to romance novels and things of that nature, I don't recall, seeing anything to do with military folks, which I think is actually a brilliant device, quite frankly. What made you go in that direction?
Well, the biggest thing was the story is set in 1970, and I wanted to reflect on the culture at the time. The Vietnam War was very big, and as you know, the country was divided. And I thought that the idea of a wounded Army veteran coming home and looking to get away from all the chaos that he saw, he returns to a country home and just wants to be himself. And he gets mixed up with a young woman who's very independent. She's a plumber, which is very different for the time. And they discover a secret in his home, some kind of supernatural mystery. And that's not the only mystery.
Very, very interesting. So the plumber, the main female character, this is Kate, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about Kate.
Kate is a 20-year-old woman. Her father passed away 2 years ago, and she had to take over the family business. And all she wants to do is basically right now she's in survival mode because she was left with nothing but the family business. And she's a woman doing which at the time is men's work, but she's very independent. She has a lot of heart, and she's no nonsense. And she meets Jackson, the Army veteran, and sparks begin to fly. But there's also some outside forces that are interfering with their romance and their very lives. And there's a secret that Jackson has that could destroy everything.
If you were to, compare these two main characters to people in wrestling, who's Kate and who's Jackson for all the wrestling fans out there? If you say, this is like reading a story about so and so and so and so.
When it comes to Kate, I would think of Lyra Valkyrie. She's somebody that wants to get ahead and refuses to quit. And she has plenty of heart. She might not be as experienced as other people, and she might be looked down upon, but she has a lot of potential. Jackson's a tougher nut to crack because he's someone that has a secret, and it's not something bad, but something that he's afraid could destroy his romance with Kate. And I think part of it might be like John Cena in the heroic John Cena, but also he's someone that shouldn't be underestimated, and someone that isn't afraid to fight for what he thinks is right, and someone that's facing a lot of backlash with the Vietnam War and the peace movement and the hippies and the older generation.
Very, very interesting there. When you think about your audience, because keep in mind, we got the holidays coming up. Giving books is always a great idea. You're giving people adventures. You're giving people another world that they can explore and get wrapped up in. So whether you're giving books or you're getting it for yourself, it's always a great idea. Folks, don't forget, we got Black Friday coming up, Cyber Monday, so many other things coming up, which, the prices are going to be right out there. Keep that in mind. But when you think about your audience, who's the ideal reader for Immortal in the Attic?
For me, the ideal reader would be someone that is interested in relationships and adventure, because both characters obviously have a budding romance, but they have many challenges ahead of them. And it's also something that would appeal to people fascinated by history, because it's set in 1970, a very tumultuous time in the United States, similar in some ways to today's environment. It also has the aspect of the supernatural, something that fascinates a lot of people. There's some mysteries going on. There's characters who aren't what they seem to appear. And I think people that like a complicated world, something maybe like Game of Thrones or something along that line, or Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire, those type of readers, I think they would be interested.
Once again, we got the holidays coming up, folks. The Immortal in the Attic by QC Benedict. If you're looking for something that deals with romance and darkness and the supernatural, temptation, all sorts of fun stuff there, elements that we watch every week in pro wrestling, I think this would definitely be worth your time. In fact, QC, once again, what is the best way that folks can grab themselves a copy of the Immortal in the Attic?
The best way is to go to Amazon. Right now it's on Amazon Kindle and Kindle Unlimited, and next Friday the paperback will be released. And also have some hype videos. If you want to get an idea what the book is about, you can visit my website, qcbenedict.com. We have the first chapter online available for reading.
I love that. You're giving folks a little bit of a free sample. You remember that, folks. You go to the mall and you walk by Panda Express or Smoothie King, and they give you a free sample, entice you. Next thing you know, you're getting yourself a whole dinner or a whole smoothie or what have you there. So definitely run to the website there. Once again, that's qcbenedict.com. And I'll have the link in the bio of this episode, folks. So you can just click on that and go right to it. But Immortal in the Attic, highly recommended. Check it out for yourselves. Definitely something that you can gift to others. And in terms of age, is there any kind of age limit on something like this there, QC?
No, I don't think so. Anybody adult and above.
Perfect. And in general, I mean, for the listeners, how can they keep up with you and learn about everything else that you have coming up in the future in terms of your writing?
If they want, they can come to my website, and I have links to all my social media. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, and X.
His name is QC Benedict. He's a wrestling fan, a hell of a writer, most importantly, a good person. QC, thank you for joining us for Duke Loves Rasslin.
Thank you, Duke, and I wish you a happy holidays, and same to all your audience, and congratulations on your 10-year anniversary.
Strictly for the culture every day. Step in style in your unique way. Patterns and colors so defined. All about the perfect line. Be yourself, let your spirit fly. In this fashion, you'll touch the sky.
visit www.strictlyfortheculture.ca.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Rasslin.